Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Just did the setup. Okay, let me just make sure that we've got everything going. All right. Yes, so welcome to the Game Week 27 deadline stream. The Benchboost is active this week. Realistically, if you ask me, would my bench look like this? I would say no. Like if I was to set up my team properly, it would actually be Rice, Mukiele, and then Rodon here. But I intend to use my one free transfer on stream today to do Rodon out for a player that I will share in a bit. And once that is done, then my bench will look a lot better. And I intend to bench boost this week. So that is still the plan for now. Let me just get started. Let me just make sure that we've got everything started before we get going. Let me just make sure we've got everything going. Okay. So let's start with saying some hi to some of you guys in the chat. Thank you for coming early. Brad, Henry, nice to have you guys in the chat early as always. Brett says, hi Leon, how's it going? Anyway, got 75 points last week, 17 with Virgil and 13 from O'Reilly and 14 regular captain W defense. That's insane. Virgil and O'Reilly in the team. I took O'Reilly out, unfortunately, but I brought Hill in and Hill got 9 points. So it worked out in the end. But yeah, it is what it is. Last week was quite a disappointing week. Like a lot of people who triple captained in game week 27, in game week 26, all didn't do very well. I mean, we all thought that Gabriel was gonna smash it out of the park, but unfortunately, Arsenal kind of choked a little bit. But it is what it is, right? Game week 27 is on the horizon. Thankfully, we can just look ahead to the new game week. So for this week, the bench is actually Rice, Mukiele, and the plan is to do a Rodon out to an Aston Villa defender. Now, initially, I was thinking of going for Tyrone Mings, but after looking at a couple of Aston Villa forums, I think the player that I intend to bring in is not a Rodon. It's not Mings anymore. It's probably Maatsen. Right, and I'll share a little bit more about why I think I'm going to be moving for Maatsen. Aside from that, the rest of the players, I mean, Raya, Chalobah, Gabriel, and Hill. And in midfield, it's Enzo, Rogers, Fernandez, Sa, and then Thiago, Haaland, Ekatike. It's Dubravka, Rice, Mukiele, and Rodon, who's on the bench. I am actually having some second thoughts as to whether I should activate the bench boost or not. So I may not go ahead and do it. I may actually just bench Rice, start Mukiele instead of Hill. This is actually what I might do if I don't use the bench boost. So it is an option. So I will kind of think about it. I'm not going to, lock it in 100%, because when I look at it like this, I mean, it's Rice, Hill, and Rodon. It's not, even if I do Rodon out for someone like a Maatsen, it's not going to improve the bench that much. So yeah, I'm having second thoughts, a bit of cold feet, but we'll see what happens as we go along. And answer some of you guys' questions as well. Captaincy for now is on Haaland. Vice captaincy is on Bruno Fernandes. So for the time being, I would say it's 50-50. Right? It's 50-50 whether I activate the bench boost or not. Still sitting on that decision. Only if I do activate the bench boost, then I will do Rodon to Maatsen. So let's say hi to some of you guys in the chat. Get your questions in. If you haven't already, please do drop a like on the stream. That would be really helpful. Henry says, who's the best caption? Who's the best option for captain? I'd say this week, if you have Cole Palmer, it's pretty much a no-brainer, I would say. If it's between Bruno and Haaland, for now I'm swinging Haaland because of the home fixture. So for now, that's where I'm going. Someone says, Nike, just do it. I'm having a bit of cold feet. I might just leave it like this and roll the transfer. I'm not set on it yet. We'll give it a little bit more of a think. Happy New Year to you, Selvin. K7 says, start one, Maguire or Anderson? Between Maguire and Anderson, I think I'd probably go Maguire. I think Sunderland will do well against Fulham. So I think I'm starting Mukiele ahead of, players like Wilson. If you have, I'd probably start Mukiele ahead of Wilson. Mukiele ahead of Anderson as well. Thinking of going against Haaland, Captain Rodgers or Sarr. If it's between Rodgers and Sarr, I would say Sarr because he's on penalties for the time being, as Mateta is out. Hey, Consult. Michele, O'Reilly, Krupi Jr. start one. I'll probably say Mukiele. But I mean, Krupi is doing really well. I think Mukiele. Timber, Saliba, Chalobah, Alderete, Enzo, Bruno, Rogers, Wilson, Rice, Haaland, Thiago, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Anderson. One free transfer. Should I bench boost? I mean, it looks decent enough for a bench boost. Is that 15 players? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's two more. Who's the other two? Dubravka? And who's the last option as well? I think that would decide whether you bench boost or not. Milton says, hi Leon. Which shoe to start between Wilson, Mukiele, Senesi, and Anderson? I would say Mukiele over Anderson. And then if it's between Wilson and Senesi, you want to start Wilson, but you'll be playing Mukiele. You'll be playing him against Mukiele, so probably Mukiele and okay, I probably will go Mukiele and Wilson, even though they play each other. I think Mukiele is still good for DEFCON. And yeah, Wilson is not in super good form right now. But I think I still start him ahead of someone like Senesi or Anderson. DM McDonald says, morning console, hope you're keeping well. Thank you very much. I'm keeping well. Lionel says, Verbruggen and Dubravka for keepers. I think it's decent enough to bench boost. But I can't say that you should right now because I'm also having a bit of cold feet as to whether I should bench boost this week. I guess it depends. Do you think that you'll be able to get to a better bench later down the line? Which I think is probably possible. I mean, you have Calvert-Lewin playing against Aston Villa. You actually probably have a better bench than me this week, if I'm honest. So it's more of a consideration for you, but I think I probably still lean against doing it and therefore delaying the bench boost. So I probably wouldn't. Taking a -8 this week. Team is Martinez, Mukiele, Van Dijk, Gabriel, Rice, Rogers, Vert, Semenyo, Haaland, João Pedro, Ekitike, subs Dubravka, Cash, Collins, Stack. Team looks pretty good this week, if I'm honest. Semenyo captain is interesting. Semenyo captain over Haaland captain. Let me just poll it in the chat. Who is your game week 27 captain? I'm gonna go Haaland, Bruno, Palmer. I think the last one is someone like Rogers, Sarr, others. Let me know who is your game week 27 captain. Juntao says, morning mate, bench 2 out of Gabriel, Chaluba, O'Reilly, Richards, and Anderson. I definitely would start Gabriel. Alright, so it's 1 out of Chaluba, O'Reilly, Richards, and Anderson. Wait. You have to start 3 defenders. Yeah, so bench 2, I start Gabriel, I start Chaluba. I would bench 1 out of O'Reilly, Richards, and Anderson. I probably would start Richards ahead of O'Reilly. So I think I go Gabriel, Chaluba, and Richards, and then bench O'Reilly and Anderson. Should say the 3 players I removed this week were Chaluba, Bruno G, and Timber. Bruno G because I had to do Chaluba. Yeah, fair enough. But Chaluba is playing Burnley though. Do you think Man City are going to keep a clean sheet? I think it's not as... I mean, I wouldn't bank on... If I'm starting O'Reilly, I wouldn't bank on them getting a clean sheet. I think it's more... I think his attacking potential. Because I don't think they're that high up the clean sheet odds this week. I feel the bench boost will be better after game week 32 wildcard. Don't do it now. Yeah, so I'm having a bit of cold feet, I should say. I think I should rename the stream as well. Give me a moment. Let me rename the stream to... Give me a moment. Okay, I've changed the title of today's stream to bench boost or no, because I'm having a bit of cold feet, if I'm honest. I may not activate the bench boost this week. Got a real dilemma next week. Konate versus Aya versus and Wilson versus Tavernier. I mean, give it till next week. Seb Gold says, belated Happy New Year. Leon, have not seen you in a while. I've given up. Just can't break into the top 1 mil. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this season has been it's been a trend that It's a weird season, I would say. It's a weird season. So FPL has gone a bit quiet over the last few game weeks already, and I've seen people dropping off. So I mean, it's natural. It's natural if it's a season that you kind of wanna take a break from. It's completely fine. We'll still be here, but yeah, we can wait till the new season. As always, yeah, time for a break and some rest, I guess. Thoughts on Mbumo and Enzo for the coming game weeks? Enzo can be sold pretty easily, and I'll sell Enzo after this week, even before I look at selling Mbumo. I mean, Mbumo's goal threat is so much better than Enzo. Calafiori, Mane, and Hill. How would the bench order be? I'd go Hill, Calafiori, and Mane. Who would you start, Mukiele or Krupi Jr.? This is tricky. This is tricky. I would say I want to say Mukiele because I genuinely think Sunderland at home is just that good. I want to say Mukiele. I don't want to sit on the fence here. Starting Krupi Jr. over O'Reilly. I always favor an attacker usually, but Krupi's minutes don't look good. Okay, if it's between Krupi Jr. and O'Reilly, I would say Krupi over O'Reilly. I would say yes. Right, I would go Krupi over O'Reilly, but if it's Krupi versus Mukiele, I would go Mukiele. Because I honestly don't think Man City keep a clean sheet today. Bench Rice or Enzo, I want to play Sa regardless. I think you bench Rice. You have to start Enzo against Burnley. Yeah, and obviously start Sa regardless because he has Wolves. Help me to take Raya, Cash, Hall, Alderete, Van Heck, Calafiori, Mbumo, Rogers, Semenyo, Rice, Enzo. I think you bench Hall, assuming that is Lewis Hall, and you can bench Van Heck as well. Yeah, and you can start the rest. Opinion on Ekatike captain, I probably wouldn't go there. I mean, he's just not in maybe the top 5 captains this week. For me, there's Palmer, there's Haaland, there's Bruno, there's all ahead of Ekatike. And Nottingham Forest, I wouldn't say it's like super easy to break down. I don't think they're a team that's super easy to break down. Even with Chelsea at home to Burnley, still don't trust Chelsea's defense, conceding 2 at home to Leeds, 2 at home to West Ham, and 1 away at Wolves. Not ideal at all. The last 3 game weeks have been really bad as a Chalobah owner. I mean, I look at I've held Chalobah for the past 3 game weeks. I brought him in here at this point. And it's just been pretty much, it's just not great. I mean, he does get DEFCON, so he's pretty good for DEFCON over the last few game weeks. If I look at his DEFCON points, he's gotten DEFCON actually every single game week since I brought him in. And actually, if you stretch it back, he's only missed out on DEFCON I would say in the last 10 game weeks, maybe the maximum twice. So he's really good for DEFCON, but he's just not getting the clean sheets. And it's against Wolves, West Ham, Leeds. It's Burnley left, so hopefully he hauls here. And I think from after that, I don't intend to start him. I don't intend to start him after that. Akash says it's so hard to bench Riley after his 13-point haul. Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I mean, every game week is independent, so I probably would still bench Riley for Krupi Jr. If I'm honest. It's Newcastle at home. Best wildcard team for this week. I haven't actually made a wildcard draft, but I would imagine you would have quite a couple of Brentford players, because Brentford do actually go on a pretty good run, right? And you can obviously include a couple of differential players as well, like a Dango, for example, or a Shada. So there's, I mean, Brighton, Burnley, Bournemouth, Wolves, Leeds, Everton, Fulham. It's a pretty good run all the way until game week 33 at least. So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad run at all. Simeon says, I've got Pedro, Haaland, Bruno, Semenyo, Rogers. Would you start Mane over Wilson or Rice or bench him? I wouldn't start Mane. Would you start a Chalobah over Alderete? I've got Timber and Gabriel. I would definitely start Chalobah over Alderete. Addy Max says, morning consult from the UK. Bench Rice and start Krupi Jr. Oof. The benching decisions this week are pretty tricky, I have to say. I'd say no. I would start Rice ahead of Krupi. After this week, definitely taking João Pedro off of Thiago. Chelsea's fixtures turn for the worst today after Brentford's fixtures between now until the end of the season look good. Yeah, so I think those who have held on to João Pedro for the last four to 5 game weeks have honestly gotten all their dues. Like, he's hauled in almost every single game week for the past 5. And yeah, the swap from João Pedro to Thiago now just looks so good. It looks so good. So I wish I was in that position. I wish I was in that position. But I could never justify the transfer to get João Pedro in and then have him for 2 to 3 game weeks and then have to take him out for Thiago again, because it's just 2 transfers that I'll be making. So yeah, for those of you who have João Pedro with your team structure, it's definitely going well, and I think João Pedro to Thiago just makes some more sense. Dango or Ryan? I think Dango, because there are a couple of Bournemouth attackers coming back already. Tavernier is coming back from injury soon. If it's not this week, it'll be the week after. So I think I've kind of semi-decided that I won't bench boost this week. So I'll probably go with like a Raya, Chalobah, Gabriel, Mukiele. Then Enzo, Rogers, Fernandez, and Sa. Thiago, Haaland, Ekatike, and Haaland captain. I'll probably bench Rice, to be honest. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me, because this bench could definitely have quite a few points on there. I mean, if Declan Rice gets an assist or Hill keeps a clean sheet against West Ham, anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. And Hill has been, I'm not comfortable benching Hill at all, because he has been honestly raking in the points. Even whether they keep a clean sheet or not, he does get some. He's gotten an assist in like the past. 1 assist in game week 26, 1 in game week 25, and 1 in game week 23. I don't think it's sustainable, so I'm okay to bench him, because I do think like it's West Ham away. But yeah, I mean, he's good for DEFCON, that's one, so it's just another reason why I'm just not super comfortable benching him. But it's okay, I'll leave him on the bench for 1 week. I'm just not set on captaincy as well. Like, I have it on Haaland right now, but something tells me I feel like going to Bruno Fernandes too. Haaland is definitely going to be the most captain though. Like, he's at 46%. I think I would still go there. But Bruno Fernandes is causing me to think a little bit. DM McDonald says, also there might be a few weeks coming up where Thiago looks like a very good option for captaincy. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, because of how good Brentford's fixtures are, if he goes on that run again that we saw him go on a couple at the start of the season at least, then he's definitely one of those captain options that we should be considering. Get he a good choice instead of any Arsenal defender on a wild card. To be fair, I look at Man City's fixtures and it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Right? I mean, barring the fact that in game week 31 they don't have a fixture, but if you have some form of rotation planned for that, the next few is actually okay after Newcastle. It's Leeds, Forest, and West Ham. Right? And then I would assume that by game week 32 you would be wild carding already. So if you're wild carding in game week 32, I don't think you would have that many Man City players, but it depends, right? Whether they have a double in game week 33 or not. And this Burnley game in game week 34 is also not confirmed for Man City. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Bench Gehi or Mukiele. I'll bench Gehi. I start Mukiele. Gabriel, Konate, Mukiele, Hill, Gehi. Which two should I bench? Ooh, this is so tricky. I think you actually go Gabriel for sure. I'd say Gabriel, Mukiele, and it's between Konate and Gehi. I think I'd probably go Konate. So I go Gabriel, Konate, and Mukiele, and then Hill and Gehi on the bench. Bench Casemiro's Somerville, not Somerville, or Thiago. Have to start Thiago. So you can bench either of the other two. I probably would start Somerville. I think he's in pretty good form. Felt like a Mark triple captaining Gabriel in game week 26, but it's funny that I'm actually quite happy with 21 points. Feel really lucky given he should have been sent off against Brentford. Even if he got the second yellow and was sent off against Brentford, he would still have served the suspension in the cup game in the FA Cup, and then he would still be back for Wolves. So either ways, we would still have had him for the Wolves game. Just thinking about the bench boost decision again. Probably. I think I can just about bring myself to not use the bench boost this week. Yeah, just about. I think I'm going to stick with this. So no bench boost this week. I'm not going to make any transfers, given that that's the case, because the transfer was only with the intention to The transfer was only with the intention to upgrade the bench, but I think now that I don't need it, I probably wouldn't make the transfer already. Toby says, any leaks? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. That would have been a nightmare. Would have been -9, I'm sure, from one game. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have been great. That's for sure. I don't think it would have gone. I don't think it would have been a -9 though. Casemiro being overlooked. Just kind of checking for leaks at the moment. Give me a second. I mean, I don't think leaks would start so early. Yeah, no leaks. I just want to be sure. Raya, Gabriel, Richards, Chalobah, Semenyo, Bruno, Zubimendi, Thiago, Haaland, Ekitike, benches, Elderete, Wilson, and Rodon. 0.4 million in the bank, 1 free transfer. Yeah, I think that looks just about fine. Is there a way to squeeze Alderete in? I mean, Richards, Chalobah, Gabriel. I don't think you can actually. Zubimendi, probably at bench Zubimendi and put Wilson in. Or even Alderete could go in ahead of Zubimendi. I have 3 free transfers. Krupi to Thiago, Timber to Van Dijk. Roll 2 free transfers, or Krupi to Thiago. I think in general, like the rule of thumb is that I would roll transfers where possible, because I don't think it's absolutely necessary to make some of those moves that you have here. Like even like Timber to Van Dijk, I don't think is absolutely necessary. Krupi to Thiago, I mean, just to get Thiago this week, I think it's okay. But I also think that starting Krupi is perfectly fine too. So yeah, I think I look at all those transfers and I actually think you could roll. You could roll. You really probably could roll. Uchiha Dan says, bench 1, Chalobah, Shirky, Rice, or Timber. I would bench... I bench Rice. Bench 2 out of Rice, Mukiele, Anderson. I would start Mukiele, bench Rice, bench Anderson. Smash that like button. Yes, please help me out and smash the like button if you guys are watching and enjoying the stream. Urban, nice to have you in the chat. There's a member in the chat. Ian says for a second, thought the stream froze. Yeah, no, I was looking at team leaks, but there aren't any. Which players would you say are critical to own for the next 3 to 4 game weeks? If you're expanding the scope beyond this week, I think I would definitely want to have Thiago. The fixtures are very, very good. I think Aston Villa's fixtures are also quite good. So Rogers is up there. Bruno Fernandes, I won't say the obvious players like, Bruno Fernandes or, you know, uh, other kind of players are critical. I mean, I wouldn't say any other player is super critical. I think Thiago, because of the next few fixtures being really good, is just someone you'll need. And Rogers. Thiago and Rogers are picks that I would say will start to be a bandwagon because of the if it isn't already, right, because of the fixtures. All it takes is like for either one of them to get a return this week and it would just be a bandwagon. I'm pretty sure. Would you transfer Bowen to Thiago for a free transfer or just roll it for this week? I would roll it. I think Bowen this week is fine. Playing against Bournemouth at home. Playing against Bournemouth at home is fine. Which are the best defenders to buy if one is going to Wildcard this week? I wouldn't have Chelsea defenders. I think I would have definitely Gabriel. I would also look at potentially a Brentford pick, but that would probably come in the form of a keeper. So it would likely be someone like a Kelleher. Other teams with pretty decent fixtures, I would say Rogers as well. I think Man City, if you're on a wild card right now and you have, you're able to kind of pick your players to rotate and you can afford to have one or two kind of Man City assets, I would say I don't mind as well, because after the Newcastle game this week, Man City's fixtures are actually pretty good. The only issue with Man City is that they blank in game week 31. But as I said, if you're able to kind of rotate your defenders accordingly, and I'd say Matty Cash as well is quite a differential pick. Like the fixtures are pretty good for Aston Villa, so I do think like it's a rogue pick, but I would say that Matty Cash is one of those differentials I'd look at on a wild card. Differentials no one is thinking about but could be good picks. Yeah, I think I've just answered that as well. Nico Potato, nice to have you in the chat. I've been good. Hope you're doing well too. Is it worth bench boost with Krupi on the bench, or should I maybe transfer him out? I don't think it's a need to sell him. I would do Krupi to Thiago this week if it's a really luxury position. But I would say that starting Krupi is fine as well. I don't think you would bench boost. I don't think you would bench boost with a bench having Krupi. Thoughts on Mbumo captain? Not for me this week. John says, I'm capping Enzo. Got a funny feeling he's going to do well. Best of luck, Consult. Thank you very much. I hope you smash it with the Enzo captaincy. Seti doesn't automatically blank. Still possible they have a game if they lose to Newcastle in the FA Cup. Yeah, I think there's a couple of things that have to happen. Also, some permutations in Europe have to happen in the Champions League for them to have that fixture as well. So overall, I'd say on a wild card, I definitely would have Semenyo. Like easily, Semenyo is one of the picks I would have, and then Haaland up front. All right, get your questions in. We're gonna call it a day in about 5 to 10 minutes, I'd say. If you guys have no more questions, drop your last questions in the chat and then we'll call it a day. And get ready for game week 27. It's crazy because next week is game week 28 and there's going to be 10 game weeks to the end of the season. It's flying. It's the part of the season where chips are flying and lots of things going on. But what I'll also say about this season is that it's been quite a weird one. It's been kind of weird one because I've seen a lot of people drop off and not keen to kind of carry on because of how weird the season has been. So I'd say the converse is also true, that people who are kind of doing well this season are also keeping up with the game. So it's just typical FPL stuff. It's typical. There will be people dropping off now and then, but it did seem like Game Week 27 was particularly quiet, I'd say, because of the longer break, the FA Cup weekend basically. Who is the best goalkeeper to buy and hold for the rest of the season? If it's for the rest of the season, I think we have to take a look at the longer term fixtures. I want to say Kelleher, but I think towards the end of the season you will struggle a little bit. But I want to say Kelleher. Would you transfer Rice to Verts/Dango for a free transfer or roll this game week? Roll. I think it's a roll this week, or even if you have to start Rice, I think it's fine, right? How's married life been? Married life has been great. I think in general, like, I would say also I bring it back to content, but content overall, like, because of personal life and work and stuff, content has come down a little bit. So I'm fully aware that the consistency has dropped off a bit. But I do also think that moving forward, especially going into the next season, there are plans to kind of upload more consistently and also have a couple of new series on the channel as well. So I guess you guys can stay tuned for that one. But because we're tapering down to the end of this season already, there's maybe 11 game weeks, 10 to 11 game weeks or so. I would say, yeah, we're just going to see out this season. Hopefully end with a good rank as well. Currently at about 476k. I'd be happy with a top 100k finish, if I'm honest. If I can get into top 50k, that would be insane as well. But yeah, aside from that, I will probably be gearing up to the new season and starting a couple of new series. Hopefully, with that in mind, the channel will be good and ready to go for the new season as well. Setzer says, Patra, yes. Happy New Year to you as well. Can you tell me why Rice is on the bench? I mean, I just think that overall his performances has dropped off a little bit. I'm fully aware that last week he did well enough. I mean, the last 2 game weeks, I'm fully aware he did well enough. But I am having a little bit of cold feet on his open play chances of getting goals consistently. So I think it has definitely come off. So for this week, when I'm definitely having a benching decision, I bench Rice against Tottenham away. I think it's okay. But moving forward, future game weeks, I don't think I would mind starting Rice as well. So just for this week, because it's a bit of a dilemma, and I don't think I would be playing the bench boost anymore. I think I'm fine to have him on the bench. This is probably going to come back and bite me, but because I'm having a bit of cold feet, I don't think I will activate the bench boost. Have you already played your Wildcard? Nope, I haven't. I will probably be using it in Game Week 32. That is still the plan. Rice, Saliba, or Richards? I would start Richards out if it's one. Bench one of... Okay, so I would start Richards. I would start Rice as well. I would bench Saliba. I'm much more comfortable benching, especially if you have Raya already. I'm much more comfortable benching Saliba, and I would never bench someone like Gabriel. Just some rules of the game, I would say. Timber or Njai, I would say... This is close. I would probably say Timber. I'd say Timber. Henry, nice to have you in the chat. Who's a good option for captain? Yeah, I mean, Palmer, if you have him, is definitely the best captain this week. But I do think, like, I look at Haaland, Bruno also as decent captain options. Haaland is at 56% for the poll. So, no wonder people are saying Rice to Verts next week. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't think the returns are going to be as consistent as it used to be. His role has changed slightly a bit as well, which is something that I don't think a lot of people have picked up. But I think from open play, the role that Rice is playing is slightly different, slightly more defensive. But obviously, he's still on set pieces, so he could, pop off with an assist here and there. But yeah, overall, it's to the point where I'm comfortable enough to bench him at least this week and not activate the bench boost. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you guys for joining today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I won't be using the bench boost, unfortunately, a bit of cold feet that I think I can get to a better bench in future weeks, especially game week 33. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you all for coming down. Please do drop a like on the stream if you enjoyed. And I will see you guys. I'll probably record a transfer plans video on Sunday, ready for release. And yeah, all the best for Game Week 27. I hope you guys have a good one, and I will catch you guys in more content for Game Week 28 coming very, very soon. Bye-bye.